Welcome back to The Witch Show. Tonight, we're diving into...
A 2-liter bottle of diabetes. Pass me the straw, baby.
No, dude, no. We're talking about soda, cigarettes, food chemicals, and more chemicals, and capitalism.
Oh, great. So basically everything that keeps Americans' economy alive and keeps my insides rotting faster than a gas station sushi
Can you
roll.
please take this seriously? We're discussing how corporations...
Oh, you mean how Coke is basically liquid nicotine for kids? Or how Lucky Strikes used to have doctors pimping them out like they were, cough drops or something. Yeah, real serious stuff.
Yeah, dude, that's exactly the point. They used advertising to manipulate the public into consuming poison.
And the public said, yes, sir, may I have another? Bro, Americans drink 14 billion gallons of soda a year. That's enough to fill up the Hoover Dam and still leave room for Uncle Rick to cannonball into it.
That's not helpful.
Neither is eating Red Dye 40 like it's Skittles, dude. But here we are.
My God, dude, this show is... It's meant to inform people.
It does inform people, dude. Like it informs them that freedom here isn't free. It's just hidden behind a paywall. America's not the land of the free, it's the land of the fee.
Oh, great. You came up with a slogan.
Damn right I did. Land of the fee, home of the slave. Put it on a bumper sticker. Slap it on a soda machine. Boom! Truth bomb with extra carbonation.
Oh, why do I even try?
Because deep down, you know I'm right. Look, have we talked about chemtrails yet? Lines in the sky might be spraying us with who knows what. And now we're... looking at the same kind of poison, except this time it's packaged, labeled, and sold for profit. Whether it's in the air above you, soda in your fridge, it's all the same game. Control the population, rake in the cash, dude.
Oh, great. You just had to bring chemtrails into it.
Hey, if Big Brother's gonna spray me from the sky and sell me liquid corn syrup in a can, the least I can do is connect the dots.
Fine, let's just get started.
You sure you don't want me to start singing the Mountain Dew theme song until your brain melts like a pop?
Give me the freaking...
Hey, stop it!
Give it back! Get away from the... Give me the freaking microphone back!
It's the process.
Oh my God, don't touch my stuff. Ever. Don't ever touch it.
Chill. But seriously, how am I supposed to be on the microphone with you, dude, if you just take
Oh, it's simple, dude. You just freaking don't.
Look, you really need to calm down because people are going to think that we hate each other.
I'm pretty sure that I've made that abundantly clear.
Oh, stop. You don't hate me. Do the thing now before somebody thinks that the show's just going to be us arguing.
Whatever, dude. I'm only doing this because of the fans. Welcome to The Witch Show, where smart meets stupid and somehow makes sense. My name's Georgie, and I'm thinking out loud, so you don't have to.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Witch Show, from what I think seriously to you.
WITS, The Witch Show.
Cool story,
bro. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of The Witch Show. Thank you for joining me. Today's my birthday. That's weird. It's weird to me. I'm turning 35 today, and I don't really celebrate them, but my wife loves to spoil me. And then, of course, I got my 3 Rugrats who are going to be all over the place eating cake. They're excited for it, so we're all excited for that. So, I don't know. I don't know how this works. Happy birthday to me. Anyway, look up. No, seriously, look up. Those long white streaks across the sky. Have you ever seen them? Do you really think that they're just water vapors, or could they be something else? For decades, people have been arguing about what we now call chemtrails. The official line from NASA, the FAA, and basically every mainstream scientist is simple. Those trails are contrails, short for condensation trails. They form when hot jet exhaust meets with frigid air in the upper atmosphere, causing water vapors to crystallize into ice. These trails usually fade quickly, though under certain humid conditions they can actually linger longer. That's the science, but here's the catch. Many people swear they've seen trails last for hours. They've even seen them expanding into massive blankets that cover the sky. And once you've noticed it, you can't unsee it. That's where the chemtrails theory begins. See, governments have dabbled in water modification before. During the Vietnam War, the US military launched Operation Popeye, where they seeded clouds to extend monsoon season and flood enemy supply routes. But honestly, are you even surprised that the governments were doing this? And the thing is that's not a conspiracy. That's actually declassified facts. So make sure you trust your government while they're out here creating freaking monsoons. God, when does the government stop? When do they stop doing this to us? Vote it all in, bruh. Politician is a freaking politician. Then, of course, there's Project Storm Fury, an effort to weaken hurricanes through cloud seeding. So at least there's that, but let's be honest, is it really for us, or is it for them? Because at this point, I don't know. I don't think that the government's there to care for you. But I'll leave that for you to decide. Go into my comments section and tell me what you think. But now you got Harvard scientists testing a new project called ScopeX, which aims to release particles like calcium carbonate into the stratosphere to reflect sunlight and cool the planet. So if they admit to experimenting with weather control publicly, what's stopping them from running programs that they don't admit to? That's where the suspicion deepens. The health concerns only fuel the fire. Conspiracy theorists claim chemtrails contain aluminum, barium, strontium, metals that can be toxic if inhaled at high doses. Some connect these chemtrails to rising rates of asthma, dementia, and even soil and water contaminants. Mainstream scientists argue that these metals come from natural sources or industrial pollution, but for many people, the timing seems to be very coincidental. Heavy spraying overhead followed by spikes in illness, it's enough to make anyone wonder if there's more going on. Now, let's get into the really juicy conspiracies. Some claim the chemtrails are tied to population control, that the governments are secretly spraying sterilizing agents into the sky to reduce birth rates. I guess this is part of the United States' so-called Agenda 21 or Agenda 2030. Others argue the chemtrails are linked to mind control, where metallic particles interact with 5G networks or directed energy systems to subtly influence thoughts or mood or behavior. I mean, it's not far-fetched. The government has experimented on its own people before, so it's believable that they could be up to something, if it's true. And this certainly doesn't help DARPA. The Pentagon's Advanced Research Arm has admitted to working on brain-computer interface technologies. Then there's the idea of weather warfare, chemtrails being used to engineer droughts, floods, or hurricanes as tools of political or economic manipulation. Some theorists point to mega droughts in the western U.S. or unusual hurricane patterns as evidence of climate manipulation. And of course, there's the theory that solar radiation management, the official cover story, has been happening for decades. Governments and scientists say spraying particles into the sky is a possible future solution to climate change. But conspiracy theorists believe that the tests started long ago, in secret, and what we're seeing today is a byproduct of those hidden experiments. So why do people believe in chemtrails so fiercely? A big part of it is trust, or lack of it. I mean, governments have been caught lying before. MK Ultra is a perfect example. Drugging unwitting citizens, the Tuskegee experiments, leaving black men untreated for syphilis, and mass surveillance programs like NASA's PRISM project. If they were capable of those betrayals, what's a little spraying in the sky? Add to that the human tendencies to search for patterns, and you've got the perfect storm. Those crisscrossed white webs in the sky look deliberate. Combine that imagery with forums and YouTube videos in the late 90s, and suddenly you've got a movement that refuses to believe it's just water vapors. Get out of here. So are chemtrails real, or just a mix of paranoia and jet exhaust? The official story says there's nothing to see, but history proves government experiments behind closed doors. Weather modifications have been on record for over a half a century. Geoengineering is being tested right now in the open. Maybe what we're seeing is perfectly innocent. Maybe it's just the byproduct of aviation-heavy world. Or maybe, just maybe, it's the biggest open-air experiment in human history. Next time you see those white streaks stretching across the sky, ask yourself, are you breathing jet exhaust? Or are you breathing control? Speaking of control, look at the crap they allow in America. Like seriously, the amount of poison we are letting slip through the FDA isn't there to tell you it's actually safe. They're just there to tell you the quantity you can handle before whatever poison you're ingesting actually kills you. You ever notice how America loves to pat itself on the back while slowly poisoning us at the same time? We're the land of the free and the home of the brave, but if you zoom in just a little, we're more like the land of the fee and the home of the slave. And unless you're sitting on a yacht made of hedge fund money, you're probably paying fees just to exist in this so-called free country. It's like a magic trick. They wave the flag in your face while picking your pockets, and every 4th of July, fireworks light up the sky while corporations quietly cash in on your addictions, your illnesses, and your bills. Freedom here isn't free. It comes with a price tag, a subscription plan, and hidden fees that show up on your credit card statement like surprise jump scares in a horror movie. But hey, don't worry. You can wash down that reality with a nice cold soda. You know, the stuff that we guzzle by the billions of gallons every year while convincing ourselves that somehow, this time, a Mountain Dew Baja Blast counts as hydration. Capitalism sells us poison with a smile, and we cheerfully toast to it. clinking our cups together as we slowly sip ourselves into diabetes. Well, if you don't believe me, here's the stats. These are the ones that literally blew my mind. The average American drinks about 42 gallons of soda a year. That's per person. That's grandma, the newborn, your cousin who only drinks Monster every day. And it all adds up. We're looking at almost 14 billion gallons of soda flowing through America every year. That's not refreshment. That's mass production liquid addiction. Think about it this way. The sugar in a single 20-ounce soda is about 16 teaspoons. Drink one a day and you're basically shoveling 50 pounds of sugar into your body every single year. 50 pounds! That's the size of a small child. And Americans are drinking one annually per year. And it's not even good sugar. It's high fructose corn syrup, the Frankenstein monster of sweeteners, engineered to be cheap, addictive, and absolutely devastating to your health. And the soda industry knows this. They know it better than your doctor does. That's why Coca-Cola spends over $4 billion a year on advertising alone. That's not a budget. That's brainwashing money. That's enough to plaster Coke logos on every billboard, bus stop, YouTube pre-roll, and TikTok influence smile until you can't tell where your thirst ends and their marketing begins. And globally, it's even worse. In Mexico, per capita soda consumption is so high that it's been directly linked to the country's diabetes crisis. In Africa and parts of Asia, Coke and Pepsi have built supply chains that can deliver soda to remote villages. Yet those same places still don't have reliable access to clean water. Imagine that. You can't get a glass of clean drinking water, but you can absolutely crack open an ice cold Pepsi. Great job, humanity. Oh, but it gets better. Let's rewind to the 1920s to the 1950s. You could open a magazine and see an ad of a smiling doctor puffing on a camel, telling you it's good for your throat irritation. Lucky Strikes ran with 20,679 physicians recommend Luckies. They were literally selling cancer as medicine. Doctors were basically brand ambassadors with white coats. Forget your cough syrup, Timmy. Here's a Marlboro Red. It's smooth on the lungs. By the 1940s, cigarette ads were everywhere. Movie stars glamorized them, athletes endorsed them. Shoot, even Santa Claus was depicted with a pack of smokes. The entire culture was engineered to make smoking look not just normal, but healthy. The industry paid scientists, suppressed studies, and lied through their nicotine-stained teeth to keep money flowing. Fast forward to today, cigarettes are still packed with poison. But the recipe has gotten darker. In the early days, it was tobacco and additives. Now, ammonia to spike nicotine absorption, formaldehyde, arsenic, over 7,000 chemicals in a single stick, and at least 70 of those are known carcinogens. They turned a natural leaf into a chemistry set of death. And they did it for one reason and one reason alone: profit. The numbers are staggering. Smoking kills about 480,000 Americans a year. That's more than any car accident, alcohol, guns, illegal drugs, and HIV combined. And yet the industry still rakes in billions because addiction is the perfect business model. Capitalism doesn't care if you live or die, it cares if you buy. And here's the thing about capitalism. It's not just soda, it's not just smokes, it's everything we eat. Our grocery stores look like chemical labs with price tags. Have you heard of Red Dye 40? Yeah, well, guess what? It's banned in Europe because it's linked to hyperactivity and potential cancer risks. But guess what? It's still in your kids' candy here. Brominated vegetable oil? Banned in over 100 countries because it screws with your thyroid and organs. Still in American soft drinks until, well, literally last year. Titanium dioxide, a whitening agent also used in paint, banned in the UE for food, still found in the processed food in the US, like frosting on ranch dressing. Bon appetit. Meanwhile, the FDA tells us with a straight face that America has the safest food supply in the world. Safe for who? Safe for Kellogg's profits? Safe for Pepsi's shareholders? Because it sure as hell isn't safe for your pancreas, or your heart, or your brain. The US obesity rate is over 42%. Type 2 diabetes affects more than 37 million Americans, and diet-related diseases cost the healthcare system over $1 trillion a year. Other countries look at our grocery aisles like it's a chemical weapons lab designed as a supermarket. France bans GMOs. We put them in our breakfast cereal. The UK bans certain food dyes. We pump them into our kids' gummies. We are what we eat, and apparently what we eat is slowly killing us. and we pay extra for it, proudly waving the red, white, and blue while scarfing down neon-colored snacks made of chemicals you need a PhD to pronounce. And it's not just food or drinks. Capitalism has crept into every single corner of American life, like mold in a damp basement. Healthcare? You don't get sick here. You get broke. One hospital visit can bankrupt an entire family. In fact, 2/3 of all bankruptcies in America are linked to medical bills. That's not healthcare. That's financial predation with a stethoscope. Prisons? Privatized. More inmates, more profits. The US has 5% of the world's population, but nearly 25% of the world's prisoners. But hey, we're the land of the free, right? We build a system where incarceration is a business model. Companies get paid per bed filled, which means there's financial incentive to keep people locked up, sometimes for minor offenses that wouldn't even land you a warning in other countries. Education? You want knowledge? Sure. Just sign away the next 40 years of your paychecks in student loans. Student debt in America sits around 1.6 trillion. Knowledge is supposed to set you free, but here it chains you to a monthly payment plan before you even land your first job. And military? Endless wars aren't accidents. They're business models. Defense contractors lobby Congress, wars get extended, and taxpayers foot the bill, while Lockheed Martin pops the champagne. It's not about freedom, it's about cash flow. The system we're told is freedom, well, it's just capitalism with a better PR. We brand ourselves as the land of the free and the home of the brave. That's our tagline. But if you peel it back, what do you see? Free, if you can pay for it. Freedom of speech? Sure, unless your platform gets demonetized. Freedom of movement? Sure, if you can afford the gas, the insurance, the registration fees, the tolls, and the $12 airport water bottles. Brave? As long as you don't challenge the system. Try blowing the whistle on corporations and see how fast that gets you blacklisted. Try standing up against corporations and watch how quickly the lawsuits bury you. The real slogan should be the land of the fee and the home of the slave, because here's the truth. No one is free in America unless you're rich. Freedom costs money. Freedom costs buy-ins, and freedom is gated behind fees, fines, subscriptions, interest rates, and premiums, and bravery. Nobody's brave enough to admit it. Nobody wants to shake the system because the system's too big, too profitable, and too locked in. So here we are, drowning in soda, puffing on chemicals, chewing on banned dyes, rotting in prison, paying bills to survive, and telling ourselves it's freedom. That's not freedom. That's a sales pitch. That's capitalism in its purest, ugliest form. We are the land of the fee and the home of the slave, and unless you're rich enough to buy your way out, you're stuck paying rent on your own existence. The American dream isn't about liberty. It's about debt. It's about how much poison you can consume, how much interest you can pay, and how much you can be milked before you break. And it doesn't stop at your fridge or your paycheck. Just look up. Those lines across the sky, contrails, they say. The water vapor, they say. Okay, right. But governments have admitted to weather modification programs before. Harvard scientists openly admitting to testing geoengineering now. If they're experimenting on climate for the greater good, why wouldn't they experiment on us? They've done it before. We know that. That's factual. Chemtrails or contrails, it all is depending on what you believe. Become the perfect metaphor for the system. Maybe they're innocent. Maybe they're poison. But either way, you're forced to breathe them in without consequence. Just like you're forced to swallow the chemicals in your food and the debt on your back and the propaganda in your ads. That's the American way. They sell you the illusion of freedom while dosing you with control, whether it's in the sky above you or the soda in your hand or the fine print on your bank statement. But hey, at least you can chase it all down with an ice-cold Coke, because nothing screams freedom like paying for your own poison while also being taxed on it. And nothing says liberty like a can of liquid diabetes with a flag on it while you're sucking back pharma's inhalant solution to making more money. Go ahead, sip it slow, swallow the chemicals, smile for the commercials, puff away for that little bit of stress relief because all the crap that your lovely politicians who care about you so much put us through. That's the American dream. Drink, choke, and die on cue, all while being told you're free, here in the land of the fee and the home of the slave. If you're not mad about it, you should 100% be mad about it. Go do your own research. Don't just take my word for it. I'm just telling you what I think. I mean, after all, that's what I'm here for, to tell you what I think seriously. And, well, of course, with that being said, I'm going to go celebrate my birthday, everybody. So I hope you guys all have an awesome week. And until next time, this is The Witch Show. My name's Georgie, and I'm thinking out loud so you don't have to.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is The Witch Show from What I Think Seriously to You.
WITS.